Welcome back to the channel, everyone. There are currently multiple teams around the NBA who appear to be clicking at the right time or are finally getting healthy before the playoffs begin. But that might not apply to any team more than the Denver Nuggets, who not only are quietly playing very well lately, but along with that, will soon be getting some very noteworthy reinforcements. Nikola Jokic has been carrying a heavy load for them all year long now. He has been playing at an MVP caliber level for the second year in a row, and he is undoubtedly the primary reason for them being where they are right now. However, even though Jokic has been playing at a historically great level, the Denver Nuggets did not imagine Aaron Gordon and Will Barton to be his number 2 and number 3 options. No, that is definitely not what they had in mind. They were planning for a trio of Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, and Michael Porter Jr., and like I was hinting at before, that could apparently be happening sooner rather than later. Earlier this week, we got a surprisingly good update regarding Michael Porter Jr., because after being able to play in only 9 games before needing a back surgery earlier this season, I'm not sure many people thought he would be coming back. But his agent, Mark Bartelstein, gave a lot of people hope with the update that he provided. According to Bartelstein, he expects Michael Porter Jr. to be cleared for on-court contact within the next week. And while Denver Nuggets head coach Mike Malone quickly shot down those comments, he did not confirm nor deny the truth behind them. And if we then add the earlier update provided by Denver Nuggets team president Tim Connolly, who said that both Porter Jr. and Murray could be cleared in the quote-unquote not too distant future, I think we can buy into all of the talk about them. Then following that, on March 3rd, the Denver Post reported that the Nuggets were planning to send both Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray to practice with their G League team. And while they eventually ended up scrapping those plans, even hearing that they were planning on letting them practice is a very good indication of their recovery timeline. Now, I do not want to over-speculate here, but many people are now feeling confident that both Porter Jr. and Murray could be returning before the playoffs. There is definitely more confidence in Michael Porter Jr. being able to do that, but even Jamal Murray appears to be getting close too. They obviously do not want to push either of them to return too quickly, but I don't think they will need to either, as both of them appear to be on a near perfect recovery timeline. Like I mentioned before, Nikola Jokic is currently carrying their team, and in my opinion, is perfectly capable of continuing to do that during the regular season. But the real goal here will be to reunite him with Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. come playoff time, and if you forgot how good they are, let me quickly remind you. Last season, Michael Porter Jr. had a breakout year, averaging 19 points per game and on elite shooting efficiency, converting over 54% of his field goal attempts while shooting over 44% from beyond the arc. He did flame out in the playoffs a little bit, but he gained some valuable experience along the way, and he can translate that into a more productive performance this time around. And not only him, but Jamal Murray too, who unfortunately tore his ACL before the playoffs ever began last year, but let us not forget how good he can be. Because Michael Porter Jr. was not the only guy on their team who had a career year last season. Along with him, both Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray had one too. Now, we all know how that ended for Nikola Jokic, aka the 2021 Most Valuable Player, but let's not overlook Jamal Murray either. He put up a career-high 21.2 points per game and shot the ball at the most efficient rate of his career as well, shooting nearly 48% from the field and over 40% from beyond the arc. It really was unfortunate that Murray ended up getting hurt, as he, along with their entire team, were really trending in the right direction. And not only that, but they all appeared to be hitting their primes at the same time too. Hopefully the injuries to Murray and Porter Jr. will not set them back too far, as they really do have a golden opportunity here. Nikola Jokic is undoubtedly a top 5 player in the NBA right now, and is making a case to be one of the most unique players in NBA history. If they can combine that with a healthy Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr., both of which have top 20 player potential, that could be a very dangerous combination. And with a very underrated supporting group around them in Aaron Gordon, Monte Morris, Will Barton, and others, they have a great opportunity to build something special. Given how young they are yet, they will not be limited to doing it this year either. However, they definitely do not want to waste a year of Nikola Jokic playing at an MVP type of level. In my opinion, everything will depend on the health of Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr., along with how quickly they can return to their prior form. If they can even be 75% of what they were last year, I think that could potentially be enough to get them to the Western Conference Finals, or honestly, even further than that. Now, that may sound like a very bold prediction, but in reality, I don't really think it is. Nikola Jokic has already proven capable of carrying them to the second round. But with a relatively healthy Jamal Murray, and with a now playoff experienced Michael Porter Jr., along with a better supporting group behind them compared to last year, I think they are a real playoff threat. And do not let the lack of media coverage fool you. The Denver Nuggets have everything it takes to be in that top tier of playoff teams. They have already proven capable of doing it before, and I certainly believe they are capable of doing it again. Much of it will depend on their health, but I do not question their ability to go far with their current team. In my opinion, they have everything it takes to be a championship contender. They have a top 5 player leading their team who has already played well in the playoffs before, a great number 2 and number 3 option behind him, along with a great supporting unit who have actually had a lot of playoff experience. Having productive veteran role players behind them who have played in big playoff games before cannot go overlooked. Guys like Jeff Green, Will Barton, and even Boogie Cousins will be huge for them come playoff time. In conclusion though, be on the lookout for the Denver Nuggets. Both Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. appear to be trending in the right direction, and their return could truly unleash the potential of their team. But with that will conclude my thoughts on why we should all be paying attention to the Denver Nuggets. And what do you guys think? How far do you believe they can go if Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. return healthy? Let me know your thoughts by commenting down below and we can talk about it there. But before you go, I would like to invite you to join the official Discord for the channel. If you like having NBA debates and discussion with others in real time, being updated on NBA news, or even being able to chat with me, then you really should think about joining. That will do it for this video though. Big thank you to everyone who took the time to watch until the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and turn on notifications to get notified right away when I drop a new video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day.